The White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce and On Location TV19 are proud to present Your Business Matters, dedicated to your business needs. The White Bear Area Chamber is a nonprofit business organization serving as an advocate for the White Bear area and its business community. Now here is the Executive Director of the White Bear Area Chamber and the host of Your Business Matters, Tom Snell.
Welcome everybody to Your Business Matters, the White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce High Impact Interview Program. Each month we interview leaders in business, education, and politics. Today our special guest is Brenda Lyseng, Academic Dean for Century College. We will discuss a phenomenal development in higher education. At Century College, students can now earn a baccalaureate degree without ever leaving the campus. There are also other innovative alternatives designed to create an easy pathway to earning a high potential 4-year college degree at an affordable cost. Today we will discuss these innovative new educational concepts on Your Business Matters. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you coming. This is a really interesting development in education, and that's why I wanted to have you here to talk about some of the aspects of this new program.
Right.
And I want to be real clear that now a student for certain majors can go all the way through and get a baccalaureate degree without ever leaving his or her community. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. It's something that we've just started this last fall with a couple of different programs, and I think it's going to be something that will increase as we go forward.
Okay, and we're going to look at those programs and maybe what some of the future developments are for the college in that area. I want to start with a little bit of background on these programs, and I think they're called 2+2 programs. Is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes we use that language 2+2, sometimes we don't use that language. It all depends on the colleges and how closely we're going to be integrating it. But the idea is that we work with another university and we see how our programs align and get them aligned, and then ideally in the future what we'd like to have happen, students that would be admitted to Century College and would be admitted at the same time to the 4-year university.
Okay.
And then they know that they're all set and ready to go. And that way it would be totally seamless. We haven't launched that yet. We're still working on that.
Okay, and we'll get into that a little bit more, but these programs, whatever you want to call them, when did they start? When did they get a foothold in the state of Minnesota? Is this something that is unique to our state, or do we have programs like this in other parts of the country?
I think this is starting in the last 5 years. It's starting to grow
it's
throughout
pretty new.
It's pretty new throughout the United States. In Minnesota, it's been in the last 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Some of our 4-year campuses, Metro State University is a good example. They have a main campus in St. Paul and in Minneapolis, but they also have their classes throughout the metro area.
Right, yep.
So Century College has hosted their courses for probably the last 10 years, but it's just been a course here and there, probably 5 to 10 courses every semester, not for a specific program.
Okay.
But it allowed Metro State to have their courses out where the people were living, to have a greater outreach. What's happened now in the last 2 or 3 years is that we realized that we need to change how we do education. We need to have more people have post-secondary degree credentials.
Yeah, and that would be for both technical and for traditional liberal arts type of
exactly,
college. Yep.
Exactly. So in Minnesota, we have a fairly substantial gap between the number of jobs that need a post-secondary education and those are citizens that actually have that. And so we need to step up to the plate and provide more alternatives to help our citizens get that credential.
Yep.
And that, going to a 4-year campus, staying in the dorms does not work for most returning adults, right? So we've had to look at some more innovative ways of providing access to our education.
So some of these programs, and even though we're looking at people getting a I don't know, baccalaureate degree, a Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts degree, a lot of these people then are returning adults, right?
Right,
They're not
exactly.
they're
Yeah.
not all the typical student that comes out of high school
Right.
and immediately enters into these programs.
Right, and
That's interesting.
Yeah, the demographics have changed are continue to change. There's fewer and fewer high school graduates.
Oh, there are.
There are, and it's just because of the population changing. And so our population especially the community colleges, we attract about 40% of our students are over the age of 25. And about half of those are over the age of 35, I believe it is.
Wow, that's
So
a
different,
significant
yeah,
number.
Right,
Yes.
right. So those are people that are maybe already working, but want to do a career change, or want to advance in their career, or possibly have been laid off and need to find employment.
Sure.
So just a wide variety of reasons that they are coming back to college. But when they come, they have families and they have other commitments that an 18-year-old would not have.
That's right.
And so we need to deliver our education differently to support their needs.
You have to have a real flexible approach
Very
and
flexible,
strategy
right.
to how you're going to educate our
Right.
future workforce. then.
Exactly. And that's why the whole collaboration with the universities has arisen. We
Okay.
need to make it more seamless so that a person can start at the 2-year, whatever 2-year they want to start at, and go to a 4-year. And we've always had articulation agreements and that type of thing, but now we're just taking it one more step, making it easier so they can just stay at the community college.
Now I'm going to get into the degree programs that you got that are seamless, where a student can stay at Century College
Right.
and move on. But before I do that, Century College has a cutting-edge engineering program.
Yes, we do.
And that is a high demand, high education venue.
Right.
And I would like to learn a little bit more about that. I understand that you now have a relationship with the University of Minnesota,
Right.
where somebody can actually go through what they call the Institute of Technology and receive an engineering degree.
Right, yeah.
Starting at Century College.
Right, yeah.
Could you explain a little bit about
Yeah,
that?
we've had an engineering program for quite a few years now, and when a student completes our engineering program, they have an applied science degree, a 2-year degree, and we have articulation agreements with a number of universities.
Not just the University of
Not just
Minnesota.
the University of Minnesota. So St. Thomas, Mankato, a variety of the engineering schools. And what we have done with each of those articulation agreements is line up our curriculum with their curriculum.
Yep.
Engineering is a little trickier because there's so many variety of kinds of engineering you can go into.
Okay, yeah.
And so that's another thing that all the engineering schools have been working on in the state to make that a little more seamless. So if you start off here, you can go either mechanical or civil or biomedical.
Oh, you've got a biomedical program because...
Well,
yeah.
What happens at Century then, and when you come, you are getting kind of the first 2 years, and then you start taking certain courses that you want to
Okay.
specialize in. So if you want to go biomedical, then we encourage you to take the biology sequence.
Right.
And what then happens is that if you take the courses that we suggest to you, you should be able to go right to the Twin Cities campus and continue on in your engineering
Wow,
degree.
so that means that a student can take their credits right from Century College and in a seamless way
Right.
can go right into, enter into the University of Minnesota, St. Thomas,
Yeah.
or some of the other opportunities
Right.
that are out there and receive a degree
Right.
in engineering and
Exactly.
then go out
Yeah.
into the workforce.
And our students do quite well in that transfer process. The credits transfer, that's not an issue. A lot of our students need a little more help getting started, or they're a returning adult and they're a little scared about going to the big university.
Okay.
And so they come to Century College. We have great instructors. They get to know their instructors.
Yep.
We have some fabulous equipment and facilities. We have a fabrication lab that not most campuses do not have that, but it gives them a really solid foundation. And when they transfer, they transfer quite well. They do well when they are at their second institution.
Okay, and real quickly, with that specific program, does Century College have any relationships with any businesses?
Yeah, with all of our technical programs, we have advisory committees. And so the advisory committees are folks from the local area that are in that field, and they meet about 3 or 4 times a year. We bring to them ideas that we have for new courses, new curriculum, and we get a lot of feedback from them. So our advisory committees, our business leaders, are really important to us.
And we're going to get back into that a little bit too as we go on in our interview, because I would like to find out for people in the business community, if they're interested in working with the college, how can they get involved in the various advisory committees you have. So we're going to continue our interview and take a short break now.